On, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Monday, December 26th, 2023, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. We have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. Last night, Iranian militias in Iraq launched an attack on a U.S. airbase, and this was the Erbil Air Base, and the attack left 3 U.S. personnel injured, and one of those three is in critical condition now. This was confirmed by the Pentagon last night, and shortly after they broke this news that the base was attacked, they apparently launched an airstrike. The U.S. military launched an airstrike in response, and they attacked several facilities used by the Kataib Hezbollah and various Iranian backed militias in Iraq. So, what you're looking at here is a tweet from Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. He tweeted this at 9:27 p.m. This was on Christmas Day, guys. Okay. I mean, I can't remember any Christmas Day that stuff like this was happening. They were attacking our troops on Christmas Day, and we had to retaliate and launch airstrikes. This is really getting out of hand. So, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin tweeted today, at the president's direction, the U.S. military forces conducted necessary and proportionate strikes on 3 facilities used by Kataib Hezbollah and affiliated groups in Iraq. These precision strikes are a response to a series of attacks against U.S. personnel in Iraq and Syria by Iranian sponsored militias, including an attack by Iran affiliated Kataib Hezbollah and affiliated groups on Erbil Air Base earlier today. And guys, this is coming just hours after the news broke yesterday that Israel assassinated one of the main generals of the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps of the Iranian military. And this general was responsible for assisting the militias in Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon that were fighting against Israel. All of the Iranian backed militias, all of Iran's proxies, this guy was like in charge of them, and Israel took him out. Okay, they wanted to take him out for years, and they finally killed him. And the president of Iran yesterday, Raisi, said that Israel would pay the price after that strike, and they're calling him a martyr. And there were people in the streets of Tehran calling for retaliation against Israel for that strike on the general. His name was Musavi. We have numerous jihadist groups now vowing to get revenge against Israel, including Hezbollah, the Lebanese Hezbollah. We have some other Islamic groups. The Al Nujaba Islamic Resistance Movement is now pledging to get revenge for the assassination of Musavi. So the Middle East is spiraling out of control. Every day it's getting worse and worse, guys. So make sure you're getting prepared. It's getting absolutely insane. And I want to read to you what U.S. Central Command tweeted last night. So, U.S. CENTCOM conducts strikes against Kataib Hezbollah terrorist groups targets in Iraq. In response to multiple attacks against U.S. coalition forces in Iraq and Syria, U.S. military forces conducted airstrikes against multiple facilities used by the Kataib Hezbollah and affiliated groups in Iraq at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on December 25th, guys. Christmas Day, our military had to launch strikes and were attacked. Absolutely crazy, guys. Earlier in the day, Iranian sponsored Kataib Hezbollah terrorists and affiliated groups attacked coalition forces at Erbil, Iraq, resulting in several injuries. Early assessments indicate that these U.S. airstrikes destroyed the targeted facilities and likely killed a number of Kataib Hezbollah militants. There are no indications that any civilian lives were affected. The U.S. military will continue to evaluate the effectiveness of these strikes These strikes are intended to hold accountable those elements directly responsible for attacks on coalition forces in Iraq and Syria and degrade their ability to continue attacks. We will always protect our forces, said General Michael Eric Kurilla, U.S. CENTCOM commander. Okay, so this is serious, guys. Things are really spiraling out of control, and it's only going to get worse because all of these jihadist groups, including Iran, are vowing revenge after Israel assassinated Mousavi. Okay, so things are really, really getting crazy. And if you missed the breaking news that I had on Christmas Eve, in Germany and Austria, they arrested an Islamic terrorist ring that was planning to carry out some kind of attack at the Cologne Church in Germany, which is the world's largest twin spired church. And it's the second largest church in Europe and the third largest church in the world. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a giant Catholic church. And they were going to carry out some kind of attack, and it was foiled by German intelligence. Okay. And they were also planning to attack multiple sites across Germany and Austria on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. So, guys, get prepared. Things are really getting crazy. And last night, there were violent protests in New York City. The Palestinian protesters were chanting, "No Christmas, Christmas will be canceled." And they were clashing with New York City police. One New York City police officer was injured. Okay, where's our leadership? Where's Biden? Okay, what is he doing? Okay, the world is spiraling out of control. We need leadership now. We need somebody strong who's going to stand against all these evil forces. They're attacking us on all fronts, at home, in the Middle East, in Korea, China, all these different fronts. We're getting attacked on all fronts. And we also have some major breaking news coming in from Ukraine. So, Ukraine launched an airstrike that took out a Russian Navy landing ship in Crimea, in Feodosia, Crimea. Look at this massive explosion, guys. This is insane. This huge fireball coming up from the horizon. And they said that they destroyed the Novocherkassk, which is a landing ship used by the Russians. And this ship is massive. Ukraine said that Russia was using it to carry the Iranian kamikaze drones, but this ship had a range of 6,000 nautical miles and it was capable of carrying up to 500 tons of cargo, which is insane. And look at this. This is insane. I don't know what kind of missile they used or what kind of munitions or ordnance they used, but this is a massive fireball. Look at that fireball, guys. A HIMARS launcher is not going to do that. An ATACMS is not going to do that. Even a Storm Shadow missile is not going to do that. Okay, this had to be like JDAM or at least a 500-pound bomb, something really massive with a massive warhead. Look at that. Okay, that is just insane. This might be the largest munition that Ukraine has used against Russia yet. I mean, I've never seen anything like this so far during this war in Ukraine. Look at that. That is just ridiculous, guys. That fireball rising above the horizon hundreds of meters into the air. Okay, look at that. That's insane, guys. Okay, so things are really escalating on all fronts, all of these war fronts. Here's a picture. It hasn't been confirmed yet if this is a picture of the site where the ship was hit by the Ukrainian ordnance. This isn't a confirmed picture yet, but it's probably legit. And here's a picture of that ship before it was hit. Want to just show you guys the distance this warship was from the Ukrainian front lines. So this is where it was hit, all the way over here on the eastern side of Crimea. It wasn't in Sevastopol, it was closer to the Kerch Bridge, and that's a good 160 miles from the front line. Okay, so I don't think an ATACMS would even reach that far. That's like right at the max range of the ATACMS, and probably at the max range of a Storm Shadow. So I don't know what they used, but it had to be something massive. Okay, And Iran's foreign minister warned that Tel Aviv faces a tough countdown after Israel assassinated Mousavi, the general of the IRGC. In a tweet, the foreign minister claimed that Mousavi fought bravely for many years to ensure the security of Iran and the region. And the Indian Navy has gone on high alert after one of the vessels got attacked just 200 miles offshore from India 2 days ago by an Iranian drone or an Iranian missile that was launched either from the territory of Iran or from an Iranian warship. And the Indian Navy is going to be deploying 4 guided missile destroyers into the Arabian Sea in various areas to maintain a deterrent presence. They're also going to be deploying long range maritime reconnaissance aircraft. So this is huge, guys. Okay. The Indian Navy now has to deploy 4 guided missile destroyers to the Arabian Sea to protect their vessels that are going through that area. Okay, look at this massive hole on the side of this ship that was attacked just 200 miles offshore from India. Massive hole here, guys. And the Indian government is not ruling out that this could have been a missile, that Iran launched an actual missile at this vessel and not just a drone. And India's explosive ordnance disposal team has inspected this vessel and made an assessment of the type and nature of the attack. The Navy said preliminary investigation points towards the attack being carried out with a drone. However, a forensic and technical analysis will be needed to establish the vector of attack. The Indian Navy had said the December 23rd attack projectile could either be a drone or a missile. The Navy, during the analysis, will also examine the type of explosives used. At the time it was attacked, there were 2 Iranian vessels in proximity, and the possibility of the drone being launched from a bulk carrier cannot be ruled out. Okay, so India is saying it's possible that this missile or drone was launched from one of these Iranian vessels that were near this ship at the time that it was hit. Okay, that's absolutely insane. And we also have another incident that was reported last night in the Red Sea. Another ship came under attack. And the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, wrote in an article for the Wall Street Journal the 3 conditions for ending the war in Gaza. He said, number one, Hamas must be destroyed. Number two, the Gaza Strip must be demilitarized. And number three, the Palestinian society must be de radicalized. Okay, so there's no signs of Netanyahu caving in to the pressure from the Biden administration and from the UN and from, Macron and all these other morons. And the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, said yesterday that Russia has completed its shipments of tactical nuclear weapons to his country, an initiative that raised strong concerns in neighboring Poland and elsewhere in the region. President Alexander Lukashenko said at a meeting of a Moscow led economic bloc in St. Petersburg that the shipments were completed in October, but he did not give details of how many weapons were sent or where they have been deployed. Lukashenko has said that hosting Russian nuclear weapons in his country is meant to deter aggression by Poland. Okay, so Russia already delivered all the tactical nukes to Belarus that they were supposed to deliver in October. And the Chinese Maritime Safety Administration has issued a navigational warning about the possibility of missile parts falling into the South China Sea. So that's crazy, guys. I don't know if China's going to be testing missiles or something. The Russian opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, has been moved to a remote prison colony about 1,200 miles northeast of Moscow, where his allies say he will be extremely isolated. So they're moving Navalny away from Moscow because the elections in Russia are coming up in March, and they want to isolate him from Russian society because he's a threat to Putin. So they're going to basically move him to Siberia or the Ural Mountains, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, to a gulag, essentially a modern day gulag. So that's the latest breaking news, guys. A lot of crazy things going on Christmas Day. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, and I will be back later on today with more breaking news. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon below so you get notified when I post these updates. And until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged watertight buckets, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video.